Whichever, I don't mind.
Okay.
It's whichever's easier.
So I'm here with Kyle, aka Sargon of Akkad.
Yeah.
Is it Carl?
Yeah.
Carl? I thought it was
Yeah.
Kyle. My bad.
That's all right.
I'm a horrible human being. But
I'm
we're
sure
here.
you're not.
We're here in Berkeley, California, and I just wanted to ask, what brought you here?
Well, I was coming out to America anyway, so I came out a week early to see what was going on in Berkeley. And there was a bit of stuff going on yesterday, but seems to be kind of quiet today. So not much, I guess.
Well, what do you think of Milo and his provocative speeches, and what he's doing here in general? Because to my way of thinking, it seemed as though he didn't really want to go on the stage in the first place.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I think he could have been a lot more provocative. So.
Oh wait, there you are. Okay, never mind. I thought they were on fast.
Hang on then. Yeah, I think he could have been a lot more provocative. He kind of turned up and then ran off, and so it was just like, okay. I don't really know, why I would have I'd stuck around and caused more trouble. Hey dude, how's it going?
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, it was a little bit odd to me. Were you able to get inside and actually hear what he had to say?
I had a camera on me, so they wouldn't let me in.
I had the same issue. What do you think about the alt-right versus Antifa debate, which is obviously raging these days?
A pair of idiots arguing amongst themselves. I think these people are becoming less relevant by the day, actually.
What's the way out of this chaos, this abyss that...
to be honest with you, I'm thinking it's probably a bit overblown. Doesn't seem to be that much chaos around, as far as I can see.
Well, at the moment, we're talking about a turmoil, chaos in the world.
Well, all the police all we have to do is just, make the police do their jobs, and I imagine the police want to do their jobs as well. So, really, it's just the administration who are preventing them from operating that is the problem. And I'm sure if they are, put under public pressure, they'll cave to. I mean, they seem to have done. There are loads of cops around. Yesterday, the cops were intervening. So. I think that'll be the end of it.
Okay.
An opposing viewpoint to your thing, have you ever heard of the Hate Man?
I have not heard of the Hate Man.
There's a memorial service for him tomorrow in the park. It'll be like at 7. He's sort of a philosopher.
That's
type.
some weird stuff.
His name was Mark
I didn't want to waste
you
this man's
just
time
Google
here.
him.
But yes, thank you for your weird interjection. Well, I guess I'm trying to get a little bit more out of you. You're usually more talkative, I guess first of all,
I'm kind of tired today. Sorry.
Are you doing an interview with Tim? Is that what's up?
No. I'm just kind of jet lagged still.
Okay.
So.
Have you come to relocate to the U.S. or?
No, just visiting.
Just visiting.
Yeah, I've got a conference to go to. So.
What conference?
Oh, a Mythicist Milwaukee conference about atheism. So yeah.
All right. Well, you're talking. So
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I normally would be more talkative.
Yeah, it's all good. So I'll just.
Yeah, no. I honestly, I think for the U.S., I mean, as long as the police keep doing their job, that's the end of Antifa. I don't think they've got the stones to stand up to the police, and so I don't think they have anything to worry about. It looks like the cops are doing what they're supposed to do, and that's it.
Well, actually, that inspires a bit of a question here. I hear from the right-leaning people here that it's all Antifa, all the violence is on the left. And while I've been here, I have witnessed quite a bit of that, and so they would be correct about that. However, I was at the Mother of All rallies in Washington, D.C. about a week ago, and it was certainly the right on the left, and it wasn't a huge amount of...
How were they starting it then?
It was the pushing. It was the very lowest form of violence, but that's basically what they were doing here, the lowest form of violence, and it didn't raise the level of having a bike chain, or bike lock, whipped in your face. Yeah. What would you say to the people that insist it's all the left? Because I know that, a full year, at Donald Trump rallies, they would assault, Donald Trump's staff would assault journalists like myself for the crime of asking a question. I was thrown over a table, dragged through the hallway for simply raising my hand and asking why I was beaten at the previous rally.
Really?
This is what was going on to the primaries are 10 months. You have to remember this, and the vast majority of Americans don't give a crap about what's going on in the primaries. I was there in New Hampshire for the entirety of it. And this is what Donald Trump was doing to ascend to fame and eventually power. I mean, he already had fame, obviously. I'm doing all the talking here. So what would you say to that?
As I'm aware, most of the time it's the left that starts the violence, but I'm not under any illusions that the right can't start violence or won't, given the opportunity. In my experience, they're usually more cooperative and willing to talk, because I think most of them feel that they don't have a platform, and any platform they can get is good to use. But I mean, if they're starting violence, then they're in the wrong too.
Yeah, what I've noticed here in Berkeley, it's very different from what I saw on the East Coast, which is, I mean, they're exhibiting all the signs of social Marxism, cultural Marxism, that you hear from Jordan Peterson and everyone else that are kind of right-leaning intellectuals. I don't know if it's a coastal thing, but it kind of. I'm weirded out to see it in action, because my experience has been the opposite.
Right. Okay.
And so, I guess maybe my question would be, what do you think about this idea of postmodernism, and how that's playing into all this?
Okay, that's a big question. I think that the problem is that postmodernism has already done its job for these people. They already reject the values of the West. They already embrace the values of continental collectivism, and so they don't consider it any worse. In fact, they consider it better, frankly, than the values that the US was usually founded on. And I think that I'm not an expert on postmodernism, but I imagine that Jordan Peterson's correct when he says this is the method that they've used to get to these conclusions. So I disagree.
Yeah, I spent at least a half hour with Millie Weaver and her buddy Gavin from InfoWars, and it's a strange thing, because I'd say I'm left-leaning, but I'd also say that having immersed myself in the journalism world, that I can't even really say that I'm left or right. I'm just a free thinker, and it was shocking to see the left literally making a wall out of their arms and shutting them down. And I said, well, listen, I mean, me and Millie have talked before, and we don't see eye to eye on everything, but let her ask her questions, let her be on there.
Sure.
And me and Millie literally started to play Red Rover back and forth in front of the wall, just to mock the ridiculousness of the situation.
Well, I like the way that they're against building walls unless they do it.
Well, and we brought this up too, which I said that we should make a wall of radiation around the Earth so that we can block from space debris.
Okay.
But then we're getting silly. Yeah, you're tired. Is there any last thing that you might want to say?
Nothing in particular. Just try and be sensible, and don't listen to postmodernists.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Cheers.
Okay. Oh, wait.